The angry crowd arrested Jesus and led him to where Caiaphas the high priest and other teachers of the law and the elders had assembled. Peter, one of Jesus' disciples, followed the crowd at a distance, slowly entered the courtyard, and sat down with the guards to see what was happening. The chief priest and the council of elder rabbis, called the Sanhedrin, were looking for false evidence against Jesus so that they could put him to death.
Medium is the message.
Even though many people came forward to offer false testimony against Jesus, the Sanhedrin were unable to find him guilty of anything.
Hey, David Choate here from ShareFaith Kids. Thank you so much for checking out this Kids
Oh, ShareFaith Kids, cool.
Bible video. Wanted to let you know that this video is part of an entire Sunday school lesson that includes
Oh, tell me about it.
curriculum, activity pages, a slideshow, family devotionals, and so much more. If you're interested and would
Wow, a slideshow.
like to explore this lesson a little bit further, please check out the link in the description below. As always, subscribe, like this video, and
The link? Oh, wow. Only $80 a month. To share faith. $80 a month, and you can share faith in the false prophet. And here you see somebody who shared the faith. Crown of Life Lutheran Church. Purchased the license, I guess. They're sharing their faith for $80 a month. Let's see what else Jesus has in store for them.
hit that bell for notifications. But for now, let's get you back to your video.
Finally, 2 men came forward and told the council, "This fellow said, 'I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days.'" When the high priest heard this, he stood up and said to Jesus, "Are you not going to explain or defend yourself against what these men say against you?" But Jesus remained silent. Jesus' silence and refusal to respond to the men's accusations irritated Caiaphas.
So if Jesus' plan is to get crucified and killed, and we've already learned that the Antichrist is of the church, it is among Jesus when he walked. If the Antichrist is many people, and then the second coming of Christ could also be many people.
The high priest said to Jesus, "I charge you under oath by the living God to tell us if you are the Messiah."
And so the Messiah could be a group of people that could recreate the pyramids. Assuming that you believe the Christian definition of the Giza Plateau being the West Bank.
"Messiah, tell us if you are the Son of God." To this question, Jesus finally gave an answer. Jesus responded, "You have said so, but I tell you, from now on, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." Upon hearing this, Caiaphas tore his clothes and said, "He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look, now you have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" The angry crowd agreed that they had heard enough, and they answered, "He is worthy of death." The crowd of people who had offered false testimony against Jesus and wrongly convicted him of a crime he did not commit
Again, this is for your children under the age of 5.
Began to hit him and spit in his face. The angry people slapped him and said, "Prophesy to us, Messiah. Who hit you?"
Share the faith, $90 a month. Let's see what else they have. More scary music. Don't fall.
After God had created everything, Adam and Eve lived in the beautiful Garden of Eden that God created. Adam and Eve were free to enjoy it and do as they pleased, except for one thing. God told them never to eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which stood in the middle of the garden.
Well, God, what will happen if I do that? I'm sure it wouldn't be something silly like releasing all sin. An infinite punishment for a finite crime.
One day, while Eve was walking in the garden, she met a snake. But this was no regular snake. It was the devil who made himself look like a snake. The snake asked Eve, "Did God tell you that you could eat from any of the trees?" "All except one," Eve said. "We cannot eat from the tree in the middle, not even touch it. If we do, we will die." "You won't die," the snake said. "In fact, God knows that if you eat it, you'll be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve looked at the tree. It did look good. If it would make her as wise as God, well, that would be really good.
Do we know good and evil? We know it, we're just not allowed to talk about it.
Good. At that moment, Eve made a very bad choice. She picked a piece of fruit from the tree and took a bite. This was exactly what the devil wanted. Then, Eve saw Adam and handed him some of the fruit. Even though Adam knew they were not supposed to eat the fruit from that tree, he took a bite. Adam and Eve had just broken the only rule God had given them. The devil's evil plan to trick them had worked. At that moment, Adam and Eve saw everything very differently. Suddenly, they understood the difference between good and evil. They also saw that they were naked. They were so embarrassed and ashamed that they tried to cover their naked bodies with leaves and then tried to hide from God.
Imagine knowing suddenly good and evil and realizing that God's punishment was evil.
Later that evening, as God was walking through the garden, he looked for Adam and Eve. "Where are you?" God called. When he found Adam and Eve hiding from him and wearing leaves to cover their bodies, God knew what...
Hiding? Cowering is more like... Look at the fear. We must fear the boogeyman.
They had done. They had sinned. Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the snake. God was angry that the devil had tricked them, but he was angrier that they had believed
Now we have this slant-eyed dragon.
the devil's lie. God cursed the snake and banished Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. He put angels with fiery swords at the entrance of the garden to keep them out.
And definitely not terrifying at all for your 2-year-old child.
He then told Adam and Eve that they would not live forever. One day they would die. Their lives would be filled with trouble and sadness.
And now all of humanity will die because of your choices. You disobeyed God.
This was the punishment for not doing what God told them.
Share your faith, $90 a month. Oh God, I got the playlist on.